welcome back to a new episode. Finally, I am making a video for today. I am all caught up. I just filmed 4 videos for the past couple days. We've been digging the videos, trying to give as much insight as I can. But today was the midterm day for Audiotronics. Hooray! And last night, on Tuesday night, I got done with lab. I built this thing. And Mina and I got invited to go play beer pong, and I had been studying. Like, let's see, let me think. Monday night I studied pretty hard. I mean, that was a big study day for me because I'd gotten out of the lecture and I was like, all right, man, I got a midterm on Wednesday. It's coming up, so I studied pretty hard Monday night, and then last night was Tuesday, and I got no studying done yesterday because we went over to some friend's house, had a lot of fun. It was a great night, and all that. But, yeah, I got no studying done. I also didn't get to bed until about 5:30 in the morning. And I was just, like, I got home, and Mina was like, you ready to go? She was all dressed up and ready to go over, and I was like, because it was late. I hadn't eaten all day. Like, I had only had some pretzels that my friend Kevin gave me. So, yeah, I hadn't eaten all day. But it was free pizza and free beer, so I mean it was cool going over and meeting some new people and whatnot. But yeah, no studying. So going into today, I was kind of nerve-wracked, but luckily worked out in my favor because at the beginning of class we covered some new stuff. But as we were kind of going along, he was kind of doing a review. I mean, it was funny because he was like, I mean, and this is literally what he said. I mean, we're not really going to be doing a review, but I mean, if you happen to hear me mention some things that may or may not be on the test, I mean, it might not be likely, but I mean, So basically, he threw in some review and whatnot, which was awesome, and I was freaking out because remember that component list that I showed you in one of the previous videos? This guy here, I thought this was going to be on the test, but there's actually a quiz on this coming up Monday for that stuff, and I didn't know that earlier today, so I was kind of looking at that as we were going through the lecture, and actually it was the 4th lecture, and it was actually a really short one because we had to do it in half the class, went on break and came back and did the test. So let me see here. Where is lab number 4? Well, that's lab number 4. So basically, as you can see, it was such a short lecture, and it was geared so much towards the review that actually in the book here, there is no lecture 4 fill-ins. It goes from lab 3 to lab 4, so there's no lecture there, which is a little strange. But he was talking about basically like following a schematic, how to read the schematic with all the symbols on it, and how to troubleshoot a circuit board. So like with this thing, for example, if it wasn't working, then we could look at the schematic and go through piece by piece and figure out what was wrong. So that was the deal with today's lecture. Really short, no problem, easy. I enjoyed the review stuff, and then the test came around. We went on break and came back, and everyone was freaking out, because it's a fill-in-the-blank test, oh my, which actually, this is the very first fill-in-the-blank test that I've had here at Full Sail, and I've been here for, what, 8, is this month 8? I think it's month 8, 8 months now. So that was stressing me out to no end. I was like, oh god, it's going to be crazy. But, Mina sent me off, she sent me off with full confidence, she's always a really good confidence booster whenever I'm, like, kind of feeling freaked out. She whips me back into shape, and then I'm like, yeah, I can do this, So I walk into the test, and he's passing the stuff out, and I'm looking at it, and on the test, or the answer sheet, there was, on the back of it, there was some, like, diagram drawings that we had to complete, and I did that, and it was easy. I was like, hey, I know this. This is great. I flew through it. So before I even got the actual test questions, I was done with the last 5 questions that were on the back of the answer sheet. Then he gives me the test, And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this is easy. So I went through, and it was just no problem. I mean, there was maybe only one or two questions that I was like, yeah, about, but I feel like I got them right. So as far as the first midterm, or the first test for this month went, I kicked it in the face so hard. The midterm went really, 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 really well. Um, I'm pretty proud of myself. I did, excuse me, I did pretty good today. Um, and so I spent most of this evening studying for the PAE midterm tomorrow, which I've heard is not near as easy as the audiotronics midterm. One, because we do not have a review before we take the test. And two, I think there's either twice as many questions or something. The midterm I took today was 50 questions, and I think the one tomorrow is 100. So 100 fill-in-the-blank questions. So 75 fill-in-the-blank, 25 math problems. So that's a bit stressful. But, I mean, I've been going through, I went through all my notes that I took for that class, fill-in-the-blank. And I've also been going through the textbook here. And I basically just rewrote everything. I figured that's kind of how I study, basically. I've got my pages here. I basically rewrote everything off of the fill-in-the-blanks, and then I wrote down some vocabulary words as well from the textbook. And I'm feeling pretty good about tomorrow. Not as good as I did about the audiotronics. Of course, I was nervous going into the audiotronics midterm, but tomorrow should be a good day. I hope. Wish me luck. And then I have a lecture and lab after that, so tomorrow's another long day. But tomorrow night I'll make a video on time. So until next time, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. I am going to go ahead and get these videos rendered and uploaded, and I'll see you soon.